Okay, Steve, just over a week to go now before the start of the new season. How have preparations gone so far?
Preparations have been good. I mean, there's been a lot of good performances over pre-season individually, and collectively we've been pretty solid. We haven't conceded many, apart from obviously the Leeds game, which I'll try to eradicate a little bit, but there's a one-off. But the other pre-season games where we've faced people more like who we're going to be facing this season, I think we've done well against. We've looked solid. I think we've only conceded a couple of goals, but we've had some really good individual performances pre-season. I think Moki has been brilliant pre-season, absolutely brilliant. He's came back with a point to prove, and I'm really pleased that he's doing that. Just needs to carry that on. Obviously, Dave Ferguson's been fantastic pre-season, and we've had Kempster's been very good, but we've had a lot of very good performances. It's great to see the young lads getting their chance and taking it on many occasions. Young Charlie Jepson King's done really well. Reece Harrison's had his debut. Jake Watson. Nathan's had a lot of minutes. Tom Allen, who I haven't seen much of. So in all those respects, pre-season's been excellent. The downside to pre-season for me this season has been we've had too many injuries. We've had too many niggly injuries. Sean Newton and Paddy's injuries are a little bit unavoidable, because they've been sort of impact injuries, and they might struggle for the weekend still, hopefully, but no problem for altering them. But we've had 5 or 6 sort of back strains and hamstring strains and thigh strains. People like Wes York and Jake Wright and Macaulay Langstaff haven't played as many minutes as I wanted them to pre-season, so that's been a negative in pre-season, really.
Are any of these injury doubts likely to rule them out at the start of the season?
No, I think the only 2 injuries now are Paddy and Sean, which are obviously big players for us. But they probably won't be risked this weekend. But we're pretty confident that we'll have touch wood, nothing happens between now and next Saturday. We'll have a clean bill of health for next week. Another
victory in midweek at South Shields. You didn't attend the game, but good reports on the performance?
Yeah, good opposition. South Shields are a good team. Graham and the other lads got them playing really well. And it was another good test, first away game of the pre-season, but a clean sheet, which was great. Again, some good performances, and Nipper proving that even when he's not scoring goals, he's an absolute handful to mark, and he's won us 2 penalties. So that's another really good result. But obviously, I went to see Altrincham on Tuesday. Went to run the rule over them, because obviously Saturday's game being our last pre-season game, it wouldn't have been a great thing to go and watch them then. I need to pay close attention to Saturday's game. So yeah, it was good. I saw the style of play that they're looking to adapt, and it might not be the same personnel, but it gives us a good idea of what we're going to come up against. And I think from early signs of what I saw of them, they'll be in and around the top sort of 6 again this season. I think they're a very good side, so it's a very tough test.
You've obviously made quite a few changes to personnel this summer. When you look at the squad and assess it, how is it different? How is it stronger to that which you inherited in January?
Well, no disrespect to, I would never want to disrespect anybody that has been here, but this is sort of the squad I've tried to build this summer. I think every manager will tell you the same thing. You want to be judged on the team that you've put together, not somebody else's team. And the changes I've made this summer, the players I've decided to keep this summer and offer new contracts to, are players I think can take us that next level. And as manager, people have to trust me with that. And the players I've brought in are players who are, again, I think can improve us. I've brought in experience. I've brought in a good mix. I've brought in obviously a goalkeeper who will be challenging Ryan for first choice on Saturday, and good experience with Maka and Bondi, goal scoring record with Dan Maguire, and it's we've done well. I'm really happy with the business we've done.
Do you know the side that you're going to start the season with yet?
I don't, which is probably a good thing. Somebody I didn't mention there, Kieran Green can offer a lot as well. We've got good options. If everybody's fit, we'll have good options. But I think I've probably got 80% of the team in my head. But Saturday is still very important, because I think it'll be a really good test, and there's still places up for grabs.
You've also been looking at 5 trialists over the last few weeks. Can you give us an update on those situations?
Yeah, I think obviously with the injuries we've had, I think they've been really important to have these lads in, you know, and it's done them the world of good as well, because even if it's not us that takes them, they've been put out there. People have been able to see them, and there'll probably be a couple of them used again. I'm not 100% sure any of them are going to be long term, because ultimately I've pretty much got my squad full. You know, I don't want to start stockpiling players and have a load of players that aren't involved on a Saturday. I don't think that's healthy for anybody. So if I can get in around 20 players, maybe one more signing. Josh King done really well, but he's away now. He's got a holiday booked. Mark's came in, who I've worked with before, but it's more to get Mark fit and see if we can help Mark out. Billy Beresford's played with us. Liam Smith's played with us, but I'm not sure that we can do anything with any of them. I think we just need to assess it maybe all of next week, and if maybe we add one more to the squad we've already got, because the young lads have came on and done well as well. You know, I think that's important. I think if we've already got players here that aren't, that the trialists aren't any better then we need to give these lads a chance.
Have the young lads given themselves a strong case to be involved this season?
Yeah, I think what pre-season's proved, that if you put them in against, you know, men really, and you know, they're used to playing in 23s games or 19s games, put them in against men, you're keen to see how they do, and as I say, none of them have looked intimidated, none of them looked physically outdone. And we'll continue to work with them on a daily basis on the technical side and the knowledge of the game and the reading of the game, and you know, they could play a part this season.
Notts County provide the opposition for this final home friendly of the summer, a club which is experiencing some pretty difficult off-the-field issues at the moment. Do you still expect a strong test?
Yeah, I do. I think they're a little bit different at Bolton. I think they've had a little bit more of a steady pre-season. I don't think they've done badly at all, and you know, ultimately, whatever way we look at it, they're one of the most traditional and one of the biggest, oldest clubs in the country. So we have to pay them all the respect that they deserve, and look at it as another game similar to Hartlepool against a team that's in the league above, and they'll be looking to finish their pre-season strongly, and so will we. So I think it'll be a really good test. And I think the variation of games we've had this pre-season has been excellent. I think the Leeds game just taught us a lesson, and maybe taught the lads that have ambitions to try and reach that level, you know, what it takes. And I think it was a really good sort of eye-opener to start the season with. Good occasion, great crowd, and then from then on, you know, games that have been similar to what we're going to come up against in one level or another, and I think we've acquitted ourselves pretty well. No, by no means a finished article, you know. I think we could have been a lot more clinical in games, being sort of picky defensively. Even the goals were certainly avoidable. Certainly the goal we conceded against Scarborough, but you know, we've still got sort of 8 or 9 days till the season, and it might be that we don't start the season as a finished article. It might be a work in progress. You know, there's still a new bunch of lads. They've only been together just over a month, so but you know, if we get the solid side of it sorted, and then we'll always get better.
Saturday's game, of course, also benefits the Headway charity. They're helping Daniel Parslow in his recovery from a head injury. Daniel announced his retirement as a player this week. I guess that's news which has saddened everybody at the club. Yeah,
of course it is, especially somebody who's so close to the York City fans and club's hearts, you know. But we had a good chat, me and Dan, before he announced it, which I thought was really good of Dan to phone me and inform me what he was doing before he announced it. We had a good chat, and ultimately at the end of the day, Dan's health and Dan's family are far more important than football. So I think, and that's the way I think he's looking at it. He wants to get himself fit and mentally right for himself and his family, and then move on from there. And it's good that we can join the two together really in this game on Saturday. Hopefully it'll benefit the charity and give Dan the recognition that he deserves, and hopefully we can pull a win out of the bag as well for him.
A lot of fans have been asking whether Dan might have a role in the club going forward. Is that something you think the club might explore?
Well, a lot of clubs employ ex-players as ambassadors and things like that, and we're moving into a new stadium. So I certainly would think it's something that everybody would think about. But that's obviously above my decision-making level.
Finally, before we get to Saturday, the Altrincham game, do you expect any movement in or out?
There may be another player come in. I think 2 or 3 of the lads that we've got here would probably benefit from going and playing regularly. But they're not decisions that we've made yet. They're things that we need to talk about. I think Jake Wright's move to Boston for 6 months has gone ahead now, so we can obviously talk about that. We've had a chat with Jake. You know, we've strengthened up front by bringing Dan in. We've obviously re-signed Macca and Kempster. Jordan's there as well. So you know, it's going to be quite tough for Jake to get as many minutes as he needed. He went away to Boston last season and done well. They enjoyed him being there, but he still remains our player because he's young, and hopefully he can go there and play more than he would here, and get the confidence back, and then we'll address it again in January. And it might well be a case of he comes back and he's flying and he plays the rest of the season with us, or it might be a case of he decides to make the Boston move permanent. But either way, I think it's the right thing for both parties at this moment.